Things a little bit different, so if you would, let's have a seat. And let me invite the ushers to come on forward, if you would. And during our offering this morning, we're going to have our special guest. We need to make plenty of time for that, so we're going to do two things at once. So ushers, if you will come on forward and begin our offering, we ask God to bless our morning offering and our tithes as we give them this morning. But as we continue, let me tell you something here about our honored special guests that we have with us. They have taken time out of their concert schedule this weekend to be with us, and we appreciate that very, very much. We as a church know one of the artists that are here with us, our hometown young man. His name is Corey Walker on the banjo. And yes, let's go ahead and give him a hand. Certainly we knew how good he was here, but he has been able to actually go out into the bluegrass and country music world and has begun a great career. And we're just very happy for him. He's known now as Florida's young banjo star, so he has a great future. This morning, Sierra Hull is also with them and who has been recently nominated for the Mandolin Player of the Year 2008. So we're glad to have her. And another young lady on bass, Beth Lawrence, in the back. So it's good to have you, Beth. And our special guest, Ron Block. Let me tell you about him. For the last 15 years, he's been the spiritual touchstone. He's written songs, and he sang and played for the acclaimed group Alison Krauss and Union Station. You may have heard of them. They have many albums to their credit. They have won many Grammy Awards through the years for bluegrass and country music. They have won many international bluegrass awards, one of which is my favorite and Clint's favorite, for the album of the year for the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's a good movie. He'll say a big amen on that. Clint knows every line of that movie. Just ask him, he'll tell you that. Alison Krauss has recorded also 10 of Ron's songs, and one of them became the 2006 Gospel Music Dove Award winner Song of the Year, which was called A Living Prayer. So that was a great accomplishment for him.
Hey, what's going on?
Ron now is out on his own in a solo career. He has albums and he records
I'm just putting this
with
on
many
Facebook.
artists that you will recognize in the country genre: Vince Gill, Clint Black, Dolly Parton, Brad Paisley, and Susan Ashton, many, many more. But through all the singing and the playing and the writing, it's clear what a faith-based, spiritual person, committed Christian Ron is. It's clear when you meet him and wherever he goes. I was pleased to meet him this morning, and it just exudes out of him what a Christian man he is. And he uses his talents and his music to glorify God wherever he goes. And I close with this quote that I found on his website that I thought was really great. He says, "We are to be relevant to the world by being honest and transparent, making the choice to trust God no matter what the circumstance. And if we're doing that, trusting God, the music that we make will affect the listener in a deep and a powerful way." So with that, if you would, let's welcome Ron Block, Sierra, Corey, and Beth.
Banjo's pretty loud. You can bring it down out there. I tend to do a lot of Bible study, especially on the road when I'm traveling with the band. We haven't traveled for a while, but I still do a lot of Bible study and listening to sermons at home. And quite often when I go to write a song, I would say 19 times out of 20 it ends up being a gospel song, just because that's what goes through my head so much is the amazing truths of the Word. I had a Bible teacher friend of mine say one time, we're not holding on to God, He's holding on to us. And it really, really struck me, and it came out a while later as a song. So that's what this is about.
Highway, so common and well trod, by the shoes of burdened Christians who won't put their trust in God. They've been born of the Spirit, but they live by what they see. So they trust in their own effort, never living in belief. Jesus. He's holding on to me. He died and rose again to set me free. I am resting in the Spirit, not afraid of what will be. I'm not holding on to Jesus. He's holding on to me. In the dungeon, in the heavy chains of fear, don't live another minute in the lies you're holding dear. The chains have all been shattered, the light is streaming in. You can't close your eyes forever to the one who lives within. I'm holding on to Jesus, he's holding on to me. He died and rose again to set me free. Resting in the Spirit, not afraid of what will be. I'm not holding on to Jesus, he's holding on to me. Jesus, he's holding on to me. He died and rose again to set me free. I am resting in the Spirit, not afraid of what will be. I'm not holding on to Jesus, he's holding on to me. I'm not holding on to Jesus, he's holding on to me.
I grew up in the church, and I spent a lot of my early Christian life sort of thinking God was a distant and sort of irritated deity who was not very well pleased with me, and so I thought I had to please him by what I did and didn't do, rather than him being pleased with me as a father delights in his children, and letting his love for me soak into my life and change my behavior. So it took me a long time to begin to learn that. And in the mid-90s, I really learned it as I joined Ellison Krause in Union Station. I had a big surge of self-worth because my worth was built on playing music, on my abilities. I had a huge surge of worth and feeling really good for a while. But anytime we root our self-worth in something in this world, whether it's our investments or our talents or our husband or wives, we're rooting ourselves in a fluctuating source, because people's opinions of us fluctuate, the economy fluctuates, my abilities fluctuate with the days. So I came to a big crash point in my consciousness and really had to dig into the Word and find out what God says about me as one of His beloved. And I found that I was a king and a priest, and that I'm holy, and that I'm one spirit with the Lord, and all these amazing truths. So it really broke me out of trying to please God by my doings and working hard for Jesus. Jesus said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." So if our Christian life is weary and burdensome, we're pulling the wrong yoke. And that's what this song is about. It's about sort of just really resting in the fact that as God's people, as His beloved people, Christ lives within us now. And He has implanted the divine nature in us, and we can rest in that and trust Him. And as I've done that in my own life, I've really begun to see Him, the engine really begins to move in my life as I rest and trust. And that's what this is about.
writing on the wall. The problem lives in what I see. A separate him outside, a separate me. In a desert land of double mind, the shadow self is all that I can find. The strength to love just can't be found. A separate mind is striving, effort bound. Gotta see his face in the mirror on the wall. Gotta hear his voice in the depth of my own soul. With the heart to see and the doing follows through. Love's living through me when I do. Some time in reality. This weakness of the flesh is bound to be. The strength to love is veiled and deep until we find the courage to believe. Gotta see his face in the mirror on the wall. My own soul, in the heart to see, and the doing follows through. Love's living through me. Gotta see his face in the mirror on the wall. Gotta hear his voice in the depth of my own soul. Hard to see, and the doing follows through. Love's living through me. Love's living through me when I do. Love's living through me when I do.